Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fine. How
Good.
about you?
Very good. Very good. It's very hot here today. It's like we're having a heat wave. I don't know if you know that word, the heat wave. It's when the temperature is really, really high all of a sudden. So it's very hot.
What's the temperature? How many
Now,
centigrade?
yeah, it's about 40 degrees. Yeah.
40?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
40
Degree.
degree. Wow.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
That's very, yeah, it's too hot. What is it in China?
What do you... in my city, it's about 30 degrees now.
30. Okay. So that's a little more comfortable. Yeah.
It's almost the highest temperature in my city.
Oh, really?
30.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's comfortable, actually. Is it very cold in the winter then?
In winter about below zero, -5.
Oh,
maybe.
wow. Okay, so it's
Not. It's okay, I think.
it's okay. Yeah. It's cold, but it's okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what do you use to cool the temperature?
Yeah, so we have air conditioning in the living room, but the bedrooms can get quite hot, so we use fans, so like oscillating fans. But then, sometimes it's just drinking cold water or taking a shower, things like that. Going to the pool to cool off, because it's sometimes very expensive to use the air conditioning every day, right? So
Yeah. How long is summer?
summer
How long is
in Spain, yeah, it's it depends. It starts in like June and continues until September, so for 3 months.
So the highest temperature lasts how long?
The highest
How long
temperature, it's heat waves usually last 4 to 5 days, more or less. But the temperature in summer, during the summer, it lasts like the 3 months. It's very hot, yeah. But heat waves especially, so if the temperature reaches 40 degrees, those usually last 4 to 5 days. Yeah. And it's very hot.
4 or 5 days or 40?
4 to 5. So 4
40 or
4 to 5.
45. Oh.
To 5 days,
So
yeah.
45? I see.
Yeah, that's the heat wave, right? But then during the summer, it's very hot normally, maybe 32 degrees, right? So 32 degrees is better, but it's not cold, right? So yeah, that lasts about 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What season is the best season to travel Spain? You think?
What season? That's a good question. It depends on what you like to feel, the temperature. But I think probably spring and fall are the best. So maybe like November or April are the best months to travel, because the temperature is not as extreme as in the summer or the winter. So it's nicer. Also, the leaves are changing or the flowers are blooming. That's really nice too. Yeah.
You said November to February?
I would say November, like around November or around April. Both of those are
April.
good months, yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah. Around April, around November. What are their places of interest? Can you suggest me?
In
When?
in Spain,
Pl-
in general.
Places, yeah.
Mhm. So there's, I think Barcelona is the most famous. Barcelona has Sagrada Familia. So Sagrada Familia is a famous church, and it was built by a famous architect, Gaudi, and um, this is one of the most famous churches that there is. Let me try to find a picture for you. So this is I'll find one for you. The church is very beautiful, and it's very different. It's very unique. So that is something that a lot of tourists will go to see. I think in Madrid, there isn't that many places in Madrid that are as famous as the places in Barcelona. But I think the culture is really beautiful here. So you have a lot of restaurants and a lot of different places to relax or to see people, right? So this is the church that I'm talking about. This is Sagrada Familia. So I'm sending you here now, and it's beautiful. Both places are really beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
And I think
A church?
it's a church. Yeah, it's a church, and you can go inside and see the architecture inside, and it's still a working church. So they have sermons there, and you can see people worshiping. So it's really interesting. And so that's the cities, but as far as the rest of Spain, I would say the beaches are the best. So any beach that you go to in Spain is beautiful. The beaches of Cadiz, which is in the south of Spain, or if you go to, for example, like Valencia, or some places in Galicia, which is up in the north of Spain. All of those beaches are really beautiful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people will just come to Spain
Wow.
just to go to the beaches.
Yeah, beaches. It can be very fun,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Do you go to the beach in China?
Yeah.
Are they
We
beautiful there?
have- Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Do you like the beach?
Yes. I like to go to beach
Mhm.
because sky, beautiful sky,
Mhm.
water, sea. Wow.
Mhm. Yeah, I like it too. It's very relaxing, and I think sometimes when you are looking for a vacation, you want to relax. You want to find some place that is very peaceful. So definitely a beach is going to have those things. And Spain is very well known for their beaches. They have really beautiful beaches. Yeah. And then as far as other things, I think people just like to come to Spain for the food. A lot of people like to go to the markets. There are a lot of like food markets here that people like to go to buy fruit or vegetables or something that is more traditional, like croquetas or something. A lot of people like to visit the markets.
Okay. Let's come to. I think I want to talk the yesterday's topic.
Mm-hmm. What about yesterday? So what do you want to talk about with that?
The differences in America and Spain.
Okay, so I think we talked about the difference of culture regarding the stress level, right? So like the different ways that people, like the life expectancy, right? So we talked about stress. in other ways, I mean, there's so many ways that they're different. Maybe, for example, food. The food is very different. So in Spain, the food is more what is called Mediterranean. There's a lot of olive oil, tomatoes, olives, of course. So a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits. That's Spanish. American, it depends, but the American is more with saturated fat and processed food. Not always, and I think it's changing. But fast food, for example, like McDonald's or Burger King, a lot of people will eat that type of food. I think more in America than in Spain.
You said more people like to eat quick food in America?
Yeah, more people eat fast food in America in general. Not always, but in general, I think more people are. It's easier to find fast food in America. So if you are looking for McDonald's or Burger King, you will find fast food restaurants more or quicker than you would find them in Spain. Yeah, you can find them here as well, but I think it's more common here to go to a restaurant and to eat something and to take your time. In America, I think fast food is what people like to eat because it's fast, right? So it's easy to eat, and usually people don't have time to go to a restaurant. So it's easier, yeah. That's a big difference, and I think that adds to the stress too, to the level of the quality of life.
Do you like fast food? Fast food?
When I was younger, my mom would give us fast food when we were kids, right? So it's normal to me, but when I was older, when I became an adult, I stopped eating fast food because it's very unhealthy. So I like it because it tastes good, but I know it's very bad for me. So no, I don't eat it as well. I eat it sometimes, but not that often. Yeah.
So in Spain, you cook food by yourself or eat outside?
Yeah, you usually cook food for maybe the family, and lunch is that's a big difference between America and Spain. Lunch is the most important meal that they have in Spain, but in America, dinner is the most important meal, and it's usually the biggest. So, for example, here, lunch is usually pasta or fish or chicken, something very big and something that's very heavy to eat, right? But in America, lunch is usually a salad or a sandwich, a small sandwich, something that is very small. And dinner is the biggest meal. So dinner is usually when we have chicken or fish or a big pasta bowl. And that's very different. And I think that people will cook food more. I think people will cook food more here than in Spain, or sorry, than in America. But I think that's changing now because people are realizing that fast food is too unhealthy for you, that it's so unhealthy that you cannot eat it. So I think people are now starting to cook food and bring it to work, for example, right?
But you said in Spain, lunch is the most important meal in a day.
Yeah.
But do they have much time to eat lunch?
Yeah, usually there is about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on where you work. You can have either some places only give you an hour, but usually you have an hour and a half or 2 hours to eat lunch. Yeah, because it's the biggest meal. Yeah.
Do they eat? Do they eat in their workplace or at home?
It depends. So, for example, if you live close to your house, some people will go to their house to eat. If you do not live close to your house, then you might eat at a restaurant, or you might bring food from home and eat at the office. So it depends on where you are.
Oh, depend on how depend on how long you lived from
Exactly.
your workplace.
Exactly. It depends on how far away you are. Exactly. I know people, for example, that live very close to their office and they go home for lunch. And then I also know people who live very far away from their office and they bring food from home, or they go to a restaurant. Sometimes a little bit of both, right? Because it can be expensive to go to a restaurant every day. So maybe they bring food to their job on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but then they go to a restaurant on Tuesdays and Thursdays, something like that, right? Just to
You
save money.
You said Spanish food has much olive oil
Mm-hmm.
and tomatoes.
Yeah,
Do you like it?
I do. I like it. Yeah, olive oil, tomatoes, olives, a lot of tuna, so a lot of fish, and a lot of vegetables and fruit. Yeah, I like the diet here. I do like the food. Yeah, it's different. It is different. It's different from America.
Wow. I think. Have you ever tried Chinese food?
So I've tried Chinese food in America, and I've tried Chinese food in Spain, but I've never tried Chinese food in China, so I don't know how it's different or if it's similar. But I know, for example, the Chinese food in America tastes different from the Chinese food in Spain. It tastes more processed. I think here it's fresher. It's more simple ingredients. So yeah, I think it probably would be different in China too. But I love Chinese food. I love Chinese food. It's really good.
In China, the dinner is the most important meal in a day. Because I think when we eat lunch, we usually eat in our workplace,
Okay.
and every family member will go their different workplace, so they can't eat together.
Right.
But at dinner, at dinner we will eat together.
Yeah,
In general,
that's
we'll eat
similar
together and
to
cook.
the United States, right? I think that's very similar to the United States, where you have a dinner, and dinner usually people eat together. Yeah. But recently now, I think it's difficult for families to eat together, because usually families are watching TV while they eat, or they're on their phones. That's also something that I think is a difference between America and the and Spain. That in America, a lot of people are preoccupied with their phones or with the television, and in Spain there still is a culture of being more social, so you don't see people in a restaurant on their phone. Is that the same in China, or is that different?
The phone is more and more popular.
Yeah. In both countries it's the same too. Yeah, that's becoming more popular. You see people on the metro or walking down the street talking on the phone. But specifically in restaurants, I think that's one difference that you can see. In America, people will talk on their phone or text even while they're eating with someone else. But in Spain, it's still, in Spain that's not, that doesn't happen that often. You don't see people on their phone while they're at a restaurant with someone else, right? I think it's still considered rude here.
I think in China, when we eat, we don't really use phones too. When at a restaurant, when we eat with our friends, expect we have something important to talk on the phone. In general, we don't use phones. We just talk to each other, communicate with each other, and enjoy the food.
Yeah, that's the best way, right? I think I prefer it that way.
Yeah. I think Chinese people, Chinese people like to eat so much. We can almost in most families we can cook about 2 hours or 2 hours, and we every dinner.
2 hours. It takes 2 hours to cook every dinner. That's a long time. Why does it take so long?
At least 1 hour, because when we make dinner, if the dinner is very how to say, if we want to make several dishes, it takes a long time.
Right. And when you make food for dinner, is there any food remaining? Is there any food left over for lunch the next day, or to have dinner with the same food again? Or is there nothing left after dinner?
I can get you.
So, if, for example, if you make dinner tonight, do you have food again do you have the same food again the next day? Or do you have something to eat that is completely different the next day?
I think some families, for example, in my family, if I cook these dishes today, another day tomorrow I will cook another dishes.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, because it's not fresh, right?
It's not fresh, yeah. I was just thinking 2 hours is a long time.
Maybe if there are about 5 or 6 people in a family, maybe so one at least 1 hour. At least 1 hour, I think.
5 or 6 people. Wow. I was going to ask you. That's a big difference in America and Spain too. The number of people in a family. So we talked about children, but for example, in America, the grandparents do not live with the parents, right? And the grandchildren, they live separately. And I think in America there is less feeling of that you need to take care of your parents when they're older. In Spain, that's not the case. In Spain, you have an obligation or responsibility to take care of the older generation. How is it in China?
Yeah, we have the responsibility to take care of the older generation.
Yeah. So do grandparents?
In America, in America, you don't need to take care of them.
It's difficult because I think if you ask someone in America, they would say yes, you should, but the culture does not think that it is important in general. You of course there are examples of exceptions, but I think for the most part people will pay someone else to take care of their grandparents
parents.
or parents. Yeah.
I think Chinese are traditional in this side, in this perspective. We should in general we should take care of the older generation, live with them when they older. For example, when they are 70, more than 70, or they can't do something by themselves.
Then it's the
Maybe
responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's different, definitely. America, we don't, generally, I don't think that there is a feeling of responsibility for the older generations, but in Spain there is. And I think I prefer that because in Spain there's a more of a feeling of family, that you take care of your family. In America, we don't feel that obligation, which sometimes can feel very disconnected, that you're not connected to your family members, so it's I prefer it this way. Yeah, there are a lot of differences. Yeah, a lot of differences like that.
I think in China we put our family members in a very important position.
Yeah. So family is the most important part of life.
I would say, probably. I think.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in America, work is the most important part of life. Work is, and I mean work to mean everything that happens in so you can either work in a normal office, like a regular office, or just being busy doing something. So your personal your personal dreams, your personal goals.
Success.
Exactly. That's the most important. And then family, and then friends. Right. I think that's the hierarchy. But in Spain, it's different.
Spain?
Yeah, Spain, I think family is first, and then your work, and meaning work and how you are able to make money. Then probably your goals and aspirations, and then friends. But I think friends are very close, because friends are important too. Their friends are almost part of family, so it's important here too. Yeah. I sound like I don't like America, but I think I'm American, but I think living in Spain, it has given me a perspective to be able to see America in a different way. Living in another country, it's difficult to, or it's easier to see some of the differences. Yeah.
I think in Chinese are similar to Spanish in this way.
Yeah, I think
Family
so too.
comes first.
Yeah.
We work. Work is important too. Work is for money, for family, I think.
Right, so it's not this personal feeling that you need to do something because you have this goal, right? Which again, talking about what we talked about yesterday, that I think that also causes stress. That I think Americans are more stressed because they feel that they need to accomplish something very individual to themselves. So they need to finish their university degree, or they need to find a really good job, not for the family and not for not to make money, but because of the personal goal, right? Their personal feelings.
The personal values.
Exactly. Yeah. So that sometimes is disappointing when you're not able to finish those goals because maybe the family is becoming too important, or work, right? Yeah, it's different, and I think it's very stressful. Yeah.
How about American women?
America, I think that's America. In Spain, I think that there is more of a balance between work and family. If you tell an employer, for example, that you just had a baby, they are more understanding. In America, they think, okay, who cares? It's not my problem. It's your problem, right? So yeah, that's the difference. I think in Spain there's more of a feeling of that this is important. Having a family is important, or just living your life. That work is not your whole life. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so maybe I think China is similar to Spanish in many ways, in many perspectives. And
Yeah.
we, especially women, when they have babies, they have to balance the work and family.
Well, that's every country, right? Yeah, that's a difficult balance. Sometimes more than other places, yeah. But they have to balance the work and the family. That sometimes is very difficult. But in America, I think it's difficult because there's less opportunities and less understanding for mothers who are working. So, but there's change, slow, but there is a change. Hopefully, it will be better in the future. Yeah. So that's it for today, right? Okay. So we can continue this tomorrow, and have a good night. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Bye bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.